everyone, welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel, and I'm Annie. Nice to meet you. And I'm glad for those who are new here and for those who are not new here, and I'm glad for every person who has time to watch this video. So today I'm drinking a green tea, so you also grab your tea and coffee and snacks, and let's dive right into today's video. So this time I'm using different sketchbook. I'm also drawing fun art today, not original character like for the past few videos on this channel. I wanted to tell you about my childhood obsession. Like, this was one of the first anime I ever watched in my life, which is Shaman King. I was introduced to anime world mostly through this anime, if we don't count Sailor Moon, because I don't remember watching it at all. I only remember having some stickers or some merch outside because it was very popular back then when I was a kid. But like, for real, the first anime that I really watched, it was on Jetix and it was Shaman King. I was so obsessed with it, and my friends were also, me and my friends were fangirling about characters from this anime. So we were drawing them, and we were drawing also our persona characters, like original characters that would represent us. That's actually how me and my school friends, we were drawing comics with these characters, and this anime in general has me very nostalgic feelings, and it really gives me like the warm memories from school times when we were sitting together during the class and we would doodle things. And sometimes in between classes there were like breaks, and in between classes breaks we were also meeting outside of the class and switching notebooks to draw even more and to showcase what we have drawn already. So anyway, this is Asakura Yoh, the main character of the series, and I remember that I liked him a lot, but my all-time favorite from this anime is different character, and maybe I will draw him later on, but today it's Asakura Yoh. So I didn't have much of intention in this drawing. Firstly, I just wanted to practice some active poses and like dynamic movement, and then I wanted it to be something with flames. So when I was thinking about it, at some point I just remembered Asakura Yoh, and then I remembered how he was using his oversoul and these cool moves, so I was like, ka-ching! The idea hit straight up into my head. So like, okay, why not? I'm gonna look up for some tutorial for dynamic poses, then I'm just gonna draw Yoh in this pose. As you can see, I'm using my pre-made sketch here, and firstly I'm going with my fine liners, the thin ones, and as soon as I'm done with that, I'm erasing the pencil sketch underneath with my kneaded eraser. This sketchbook is not super good quality paper, it's pretty thin, but I still like it, and it's okay for line arts, even for alcohol-based markers. I think I have a few sketches done here, but the markers are bleeding through a lot, so I cannot really use the page behind it. So I think I'm mostly using these for the sketches and line art and fine line art. Or a pencil sketch maybe, or like colored pencil drawings, I'm not sure. So I never know what my sketchbook end up looking like, because it's not that I have my plans on every sketchbook that I use, and I have a lot and I'm running all of them at the same time. So sometimes I need a bigger sketchbook, so I draw in that one, and sometimes I'm okay with drawing smaller sketch or like a drawing, so I'm using the other ones. I would not waste like a big paper from a bigger sketchbook. So for this part, I wanted to give this character and this drawing in general, I wanted to give it calligraphic look. So you see me using brush pens, and I'm putting a lot of thick lines around the whole pose, not only the hair, but I am using very thick line to determine where the shadows are. And you can see the rest of it is very thin, so I'm going back with my thinner liner, not a brush one, but liner. And I'm putting things together, like I'm making the thinner lines look a little bit more saturated, and I'm putting more ink in it, so it would not look as broken down, because right now it looks a little bit rough, so I wanted to even things out. For some reason, I like to draw male characters in a very simplistic way, in terms of color especially. You remember one of my first videos was a drawing of a Kakashi sensei, and it was also black and white coloring and then some colorful background, so I decided I would do the same here for Yoh. I had this mood for traditional Japanese drawing, like, you know, they like it very graphic-y or very calligraphy, and then they're adding some watercoloring splashes, like not the watercolor itself, but like they're using ink that is water-based, so it looks kind of like watercolor. But this paper is certainly not for that, so I'm just mimicking this with other tools that I have that are more convenient for me to use, and that will work with this type of thin paper. So I mentioned that this was the first anime that I watched as a kid. They made a remake for this anime, because originally the anime that was from like 2000s, they started as a manga equalization, but they caught up too quickly with the manga, so manga was not completed when they were like, they caught up with the plot, so they decided they would continue with their own scenario and their own story. And then in 2021, I think, they decided they would make remake for the anime, because they wanted it to be manga-based anime this time, because the manga was complete, and they decided they would make the whole thing with the original manga plot. And I watched both of them, and to be honest, I like both of them actually. What I would do is to mix up some episodes from anime from the 2000s and then some of the episodes from remake from 2021, because to me the remake was a little bit too fast-paced. On the other hand, like the first anime, it was like too slow and way too many filler episodes. So the perfect anime would look like with maybe half of the number of the fillers from the original anime, and then with upgraded animation from the new one. So that would make like the perfect one. Because in the new one, they are just straight to the main tournament. Like the whole anime is about tournament and shaman fights, and like it's typical adventurous shonenai. There is a main character that has like a lot of friends, and then they're fighting against something, or like they're having cool powers. So that's what the genre is about. But I like to see how characters develop their relationship. I'm not sure if that's just me or like a lot of people do like to watch the same. I like action, of course I do, but sometimes I want this little more humane thing inside, so the characters would be shown from different sides, not only like how cool they are while they're fighting or so, but also how are they in everyday life, let's say. For me, that's what a little bit lacks on the new remake anime. But other than that, I really like how the manga is actually originally way better in characters, and like the plot itself looks better because the original anime, it was made by American studio, I believe, and it was made for American audience, and it's different from Japanese one. Like, I'm not saying it's worse or better, no, it's just different. So it looks more like a cartoon and like kids show. I mean, it should be, but anime is for me more appealing because it can be watched by both audiences, like kids, and then there are more adultish anime. Like the ones that have like deeper thoughts or like philosophical plots or something like to think about. 2000 anime is more about, wow, this guy is so cool, he's so strong, he's pew 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 pew. And I think I'm way past that. Even back in my childhood days, I wasn't hyping about the fights at all. I was more hyped about how the characters were interacting with each other and the drama and then the friendship, and you understand me. So for this drawing, it took me a little more time to complete the line work because it was basically the main focal point for me, and I like how it came out in the end. It looks like if I was drawing with a brush and with a calligraphic pen, actually. And it gives a lot of volume too. I'm really satisfied with the line work on this one. So since he has these swords behind him and flames are coming out of the sword as well, it's kind of hard for me to only show with my lines where is what, because yeah, it looks a little bit mixed up. So I decided I would add some color to the background to kind of determine where the flames are to make them pop out from the white background. And I gave this little orange square around Yoh's silhouette and his sword as well. I could also do the same but colored flames instead of the background square, but I just wanted to do in this style, like the Kakashi Sensei's drawing, for example. Maybe I'm going to make like a whole series of my favorite fan art characters. Feel free to drop me in the comments what character you would like to see. I'm up for drawing some of your fan art requests. Also, let me know in the comments what is your childhood anime, because I'm a 90s kid, so there were not a lot popular animes at that time, mostly Pokemon, Sailor Moon, and then there's Shaman King, Naruto, and stuff like that. But I wonder what else was there. I also know about Digimon. But I haven't watched that a lot. I think I saw a few of episodes, but I don't even remember the characters or anything. So I see a little bit of bleeding through the line art, and I'm trying to fix this with my white gel pen to make it look a little bit cleaner, but I can also edit that on digital after scanning, so that's not a big problem for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's your final result. I hope you enjoyed the process with me. I'm glad you were here. Please hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I would love to hear your feedback on that one, and also the questions that I asked before. I would love to get to know you better a little bit. Maybe we have more in common than we think. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.